the magazine tycoon helped spark a revolution. It was one that changed the traditional views of sexuality in the United States. Hugh Hefner liked to be called Hef. He was born in 1926 in Chicago and raised in what he calls a very strict home. It was in quite a departure of that traditional upbringing that with just $8,000 in 1953, he published the very first issue of Playboy magazine on the kitchen table of his Chicago apartment. And on the cover of that first issue was none other than Marilyn Monroe. She helped him sell more than 50,000 copies when it hit newsstands in December of that year. And with that, the Playboy empire was born. Hefner divorced his wife Mildred Williams in 1959, and during the early days of the magazine's success decided that he would not only promote the fantasy he helped create, but he would live it as well. Audiences even got a taste of Hefner's good life in the early 1960s television show called Playboy's Penthouse.
Come on in and meet some of our guests.
And the early 1970s, when Playboy magazine was selling about 7 million copies every month, he made his home at the now famous Playboy Mansion. In 1989, Hefner uttered the words that many people thought he would never say again when he married Playmate of the Year Kimberly Conrad. The couple had 2 children but separated in '98. Hefner continued to live out the Playboy fantasy even in his later years, hosting extravagant parties with celebrity guests. He even returned to television in 2005, but this time he shared the screen with 3 live-in girlfriends in the reality show called The Girls Next Door. In the late 2000s, he began an on-again, off-again relationship with Playmate Crystal Harris. They tied the knot on New Year's Eve in 2012. Hefner sold his beloved Playboy mansion just last year for $100 million. But there was one condition, that he be allowed to live there for the rest of his life. Hefner was 91 years old and leaves behind his wife, Crystal, and 4 children. I'm Monica Guy reporting.